right, a time from days gone by. So this is actually an improvisation that I recorded and then transcribed the music for it. So what you'll see in the music is kind of an approximation. Pretty much this improvisation is played freely, so it's not in strict rhythm, but I tried to approximate the rhythms as much as possible. And you'll notice there's a couple spots in it where the rhythm written down is much longer than when I'm actually playing. And part of that was just editing the improv as I went through. So if I do play this again, I might hold this note out a little bit longer and so on. So the score and tab is available at my website, so check it out. So this improvisation is in the key of A minor. The key signature for A minor has no sharps and flats, but often you'll get a G sharp in there, which creates that harmonic minor sound, which I love. The main chords found in this are A minor, D minor, and E major. I pretty much stick to those chords throughout. All right, so let's give it a shot. So A minor, it starts off with A minor, and you're just gonna arpeggiate it like this. I just let it ring. And then I have this little line, which I'll play rest stroke with my right hand. So those faster notes, what I'm doing is I'm hammering on. So I pluck this note, hammer on, pull off, pull off. So it's like this. Now when you do those pull offs, you want to make sure you don't want to pull straight off, because you won't get much of a sound. But what I think about doing is more plucking that string with my left hand. So I hit that note and then hammer on and then pluck with my left hand and again. So fast, it goes like that. The second one is here. So it's the same basic thing. So hammer on, pull off, pull off. So that little line again is going to go. And then I do a hammer on, third finger there, because I'm going to go right into A minor chord. Then we have this. So what I'm doing is, when I get to that third finger on that fret, I'll just slide up to the fifth. And I'll let that ring. And then I go back, and that same little ornamental figure is there. So you've got, and then D minor chord. And what I do in the video is I'm using the flesh of my thumb. So I'm not doing the nail, which gives it a bright sound. I'm using the flesh, which gives it a lighter sound, which I like. So after the D minor, we're gonna go here, and that same ornamental pattern. And then 3, A minor. So for that arpeggio with my right hand, basically I'm assigning a finger to a string. So I've got the index finger is taking care of the third, middle finger is taking care of the second, ring finger is the first, and then the thumb hits that fifth string and the fourth string. So slowly you've got. All right, then we're gonna go into an E7 chord. So I hit the open 6th string, and then I'm gonna strum it by taking my middle finger and just going back and forth like that. So you've got, so if I keep it going like this, so you get. And one thing about that strum is I'm not exact. Like I wrote in the music that I'm hitting 4 of the notes from the chord. Well, sometimes I'm only hitting 2, sometimes I'm hitting 3. So it's not an exact thing, but I'm just strumming it. And then I do the back of my middle finger and do 4 of those. Then we're gonna go into this arpeggio. You start off with an E major chord, and slowly you're gonna go. So whenever I do this type of arpeggio, basically I'm just rolling the chord with my right hand. So I've got, once I reach this point, I'm just going like this. So I've got the fingers down, and I just lift up one at a time. So it's similar to if you were rolling a chord. So slowly. And again. Now faster. All right, then half bar 5. So this is also an A minor chord. It's like if you played this full A minor here, but all we're doing is playing those 3 strings. All right, and then we have in measure 10, we're going to be in the 5th position. So I am doing rest stroke. Now you don't have to do rest stroke, you can certainly do free stroke, but slowly. Then I pull off. So as I mentioned before, the rhythm is very free, but the triplet figure 1 E 2 E 3. So it's 1 E 2 E 3. And we're gonna have this. So this is a D minor chord. So I'm going to D minor. So the full chord is here, but I'm just hitting those 3 strings. And again, I'm using the thumb, the flesh of my thumb, to get that note. So this one's going to be hammer on, pull off. So slowly it goes. And then all right, then I have a line where I'm using pizzicato. So pizzicato is when you rest, you're going to mute the string. So what I do is I rest this part of my hand right there near the bridge. So you get... So you want to find that spot where you get a good pizzicato, because if you do it here, you don't get much of a sound. So I find that spot, and for me, it's pretty much just to the left of this right here. So it's... So measure 13, you're going to start off in the 10th position, pinky down. Now we'll go 2 frets down. Down 1. So again. And then. So in rhythm, you're going to go. All right, next measure, you're just going to follow that pattern down and then down to the 1st fret. So those 2 measures are going to go. And then we have that ornament come back. You're still doing pizzicato. So it's hammer on, pull off, pull off. So it's... And then you're going to go here and slide. Slide up to the 5th fret. Back here. And that same little ornament again. And then, so similar to what we did earlier. So that whole line slowly is going to go. We have A minor. All right, then we get into the tapping section. So the tapping, obviously I picked this up from Eddie Van Halen. In high school, I started playing electric guitar in high school. I didn't start playing fingerstyle classical until I was in college. And so Eddie Van Halen was my hero. And so I spent a lot of my high school years doing that tapping thing. So the pattern is the same for both measures. It's just different notes. So the first part, you're going to arpeggiate an A minor chord. So an A minor chord has an A, a C, and an E in it. So you have this a C, and then an E right there. So to do it, you are going to tap at the 8th fret. So tapping doesn't always sound so great on the classical guitar. Electric guitar sounds great, easy to do. Not so much on the classical. But you get that, and then you're going to pull off, and then I go middle finger right there. So it's... So similar to when we did pull-offs with the left hand, when I do the tap, I actually kind of pluck the string. So I'm kind of going off to the side. So you've got... And I do it sort of an indeterminate number of times. I just did it until I felt like going to the next chord. I wrote down that you repeat that pattern 4 times. Slowly again it goes. Faster. Then we're going to switch to an E major chord. So an E major chord has an E, a G sharp, and a B in it. So here's the B, 7th fret. E is open, and then G sharp is right there. But it's the same technique. So you're going... And then I slow down for measure 19. And I just slide up to the 12. So you got like that, and then a pull off. So again, slowly, and then pull off. All right, measure 20. We're gonna do octaves. So you hit that open 6th string. You've got octaves here. So it's an octave E, 12th fret on the 1st string, 9th fret on the 3rd string. And you're just gonna go. And with my right hand, I go index middle, or index ring finger, excuse me. And I just go up. So you just go on between those 2 notes. So it's E, F, E, F, E, F, E. Then it ends with a little pizzicato figure again. So it's similar to what we did before. You're going to start here. So it's... Then we're going to do triplets. And then we'll go to the 5th fret. And we're just going to stay in this position. And then I hold that one. Now, for this one, there's a fermata, so that just means to hold it. And then we go open. And then A minor. And again, for the A minor, I'm using just the flesh part of my thumb. All right, there it is. A time from days gone by in improvisation. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned some things, and let me know if you have any questions.